Hey, once again, everyone, it is Eric Wilhelm here with Weather for Weather Geeks. It's the edition for Tuesday evening, the 22nd day of January, 2019. Frigid start to the day today, but as expected, it got a little bit better this afternoon. We actually approached a record low this morning. Record low today is kind of low-hanging fruit. It was -6. That's pretty warm record low for the dead of winter. But we stopped just one shy of that at -5 this morning, our coldest morning in the area since January 14th of last year. It's been over a year since we've had a morning like this. Some other localized temperatures as of about 7 a.m. Now, what I probably should have done is adjusted these back a couple of hours because our lows actually occurred about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning or so and then started rising. These were the 7 a.m. temperatures, which is usually at this time of the year about when our low is. But this morning was a few hours earlier, but nonetheless, yeah, below zero readings, even still lingering as of 7 a.m., but more real estate was covered under negative numbers at about 2 to 3 a.m. So -5 locally, -3 in Pittsburgh, New Philly at -6, and Zanesville at -4 to kick off the day. Interestingly enough, we had a cooler than average day, of course, today, but in 2018 and 2017, on today's date, we had back-to-back years with a high of 58 degrees on January 22nd. Doesn't that sound very, very nice? Yeah, we've come a long way, though. After temperatures in the lower teens yesterday, we bottomed out below zero this morning. And then, this is a pretty good diurnal range for the dead of winter. What I mean by diurnal range is the temperature range from lowest to highest. Usually, you don't have big ranges in the dead of winter, but, -5 to about 30 this evening, that's a 35-degree range. That's pretty impressive. Again, for this time of the year. Oftentimes, of course, in the summer, we have pretty big diurnal temperature swings, but not so much in the dead of winter. All right, winter weather advisories to our east, winter weather advisories to our west. This evening, the nearest winter weather advisories are east of I-79 over into west central PA, heading into the central parts of the Keystone State up into New York as well. The reason for this, we do have some precipitation heading our way, and already they're seeing some problems with snow and ice. Parts of Michigan, northern Indiana, northwest Ohio as well. As this comes east, it's going to be a race a little bit between the precipitation and the rising temperatures. I think the air temperatures will win the race. Actually, I'm going to skip this graphic because I don't like what it shows. I think the temperatures will win the race, but that said, tomorrow morning I'm still expecting some areas of slick travel. The reason for that is, even though when this rain comes in before daybreak in a lot of spots, especially north of I-80, air temperatures may be 34, 35 degrees, but everything's been sitting in Arctic air for a few days now with a refrigeration of a snowpack sitting on the ground. Certainly a lot of objects are going to be colder than freezing tomorrow morning, and that may include your driveway, sidewalks, things of that nature, your windshield, railings, the deck. A lot of those things are still going to be pretty cold tomorrow morning. So this rain may try to freeze on contact on some of those surfaces for a time tomorrow morning. Now, eventually, the warm air is going to win out. But still, we have to watch out for some slick spots tomorrow morning. We already are seeing some school adjustments, probably as a result partly of some lingering tough roads and then also this threat of some slick spots tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, we're into the 40s. And rain will be here for a lot of the day. Might have to watch for some fog. A lot of times when we have rain and warm temperatures pushing in on top of a pretty deep snowpack, we get fog setting up. Now, it'll be a little bit breezy at times tomorrow, so that may prevent too much fog, but there could be a little bit of fog. Again, you see that a lot of times with rain falling over an established snowpack. Hour by hour rain chances tomorrow. The farther north you are, the higher these numbers probably should be in the morning. In Columbiana County, it may wait until mid to late morning to rain much, but in Trumbull and Mercer counties, rain may try to push in, especially in those areas, before daybreak tomorrow morning. Now, this will be a pretty good drink of water heading our way. These are the model rainfall estimates. Now, you have to keep in mind that during the second half of Wednesday night, this precipitation will be in the frozen variety if it falls. So we're going to kind of cut this off right here and look at things to the left. I think a good average will be about 3/4 of an inch worth of rain. Now, that is not all the rain in the world, but when you consider that we have about an inch to an inch and a half worth of water locked up in the snowpack, that amount of rain with a partial melting of that snowpack could lead to some minor localized flooding problems tomorrow and heading into Thursday. One of the spots that we sometimes see some issues, so when other areas are doing just fine, is up in Trumbull County, Mahoning River at Leavittsburg, Eagle Creek in southwestern Trumbull County. This is the forecast for the Mahoning River at Levittsburg, a crest just shy of 9 feet on Thursday. Flood stage begins at 10 feet. So right now the forecast is for it to stay below flood stage, but it definitely bears watching. And other areas that, don't drain so well, again, localized, there may be some minor issues over the next couple of days. All right, so tomorrow night, the colder air wraps in. Then what happens? Well, the latest run of our in-house model here kind of poo-poos the idea of any snow on the backside of this. I kind of think this is underdone. I kind of think there will be a more expansive shield of light snow, wet snow, that develops on the backside of the precipitation shield as the colder air catches up. And I do think in most spots it's going to snow at least some tomorrow night. And then for the rest of Thursday, it's blustery, it's cold, temperatures holding in the 20s, going nowhere. And Friday looks like a very frigid day. I've got 14 now in the forecast for Friday with a gusty wind. And I think this will be a pretty good lake effect setup on a westerly flow. So Erie, northern Ashtabula County should do well. Southwestern New York will do very well with this Friday and into Friday night. Locally, I'm not expecting a whole lot in the way of lake effect because it's a little too westerly instead of northwesterly. Here's our model output for the snow for Wednesday night. And as you can see, despite what the RPM was kind of doing there, poo-pooing things, it's kind of an outlier. Our other modeling is up in here. I think a general inch or two is pretty likely out of this coming our way Wednesday night and before daybreak on Thursday. Wind chills, no fun at all. By Friday morning, now this won't be enough to cause school adjustments Friday morning, but by Friday afternoon, we'll probably seeing those wind chills dipping a little below zero, well below zero Friday night. Wind chills may recover somewhat Saturday morning as the wind slackens off a little bit, but yeah, it's going to be a return of the harsh Arctic cold at the end of the week and the start of the weekend. And no surprise here if you've been watching this video lately. Here comes maybe the coldest stretch of the whole winter coming our way next week, and as we roll into the first weekend of February, very high odds of below average temperatures in the 8 to 14 day outlook. What I'm going to show you here is the raw output from the European model for the middle of next week. Now this is just one model and it may be a little overdone, but check out some of these numbers. These are Wednesday morning, a week from tomorrow. A -18 in Chicago, a -28 in Minneapolis. Locally, if this were to be exactly right, odds aren't great of that this far out, but if it were to be exactly right, we might have a day middle of next week where we get to maybe 3 or 4 for a high above zero, and that is it. And very cold all the way into probably Thursday morning. So that's just one model, and it may be kind of an extreme outlier solution at this point, but it's feasible that we have our coldest day of the entire winter season still ahead of us. It's not coming probably Friday. It's probably coming during the middle of next week. We might have a day where we don't get out of the single digits. Lots of winter left. We had a month off from winter, and here we are paying the price, and we're going to continue to pay the price for some time. Thanks for watching the Tuesday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 11. Have a great Tuesday night.